Hi, Jeremy here with another shot from the golfing curriculum. Today, one that has many amateur golfers in fits, the short bunker shot. Not as hard as you think. Everybody can do this, but you've got to obey the golden rules. Now in a bunker, everybody knows that you've got to hit the sand first, but the question is, how do we make that automatic? Well, there is a way, and it's to do with the stance, the ball position, and the position of your head. If we were playing a full swing with a wedge, let's say, we'd put the ball in the middle, and that is where we'd hit the ground. Now it's no different in a bunker, that's still where you're going to hit the ground, but instead of putting the ball in the middle of the stance, where you'd hit the ground first, what we're going to do is move the ball forward. It's really simple, and then if you swing along the line of your feet, your natural low point, or the point where you will hit the sand, will be, as it always is, 4 inches inside the front heel, and that way you're kind of programmed into hitting the sand at the right point. If you put the ball off the front heel with a full wedge off grass, you'd almost certainly hit the ground, so let's make use of that idea. You don't even have to open the club face. If you simply put the ball forward and hit just behind it, then you get, like that one, a fairly low, long bunker shot. Quite handy if the pin's at the back of the green. But the question on the shot I'm going to play in just a moment is, how do we get the height? How do we get over a big lip if there is one? There isn't one here today, but if there is, we need to be able to do that. Well, the next part of the address position is opening the club face. Let me show you exactly what that does. So this club face, as you can see, I've got the club face square here with my normal grip. That was the shot I just played, and that will give you, say, a 20-25 yard bunker shot with a fairly low flight if you play the ball off the front heel. And that's a great shot, no problem at all. But if you want to get the ball higher and shorter, you simply turn the club in your hands. Why might you do that, I hear you ask? Well, that changes impact completely. We expose what they call the bounce of the club. You can see if I open the club face, then this bit here, the flange, breaks the surface of the sand first. If I get it straight and a square club face, then the leading edge goes into the sand first, and sometimes if the sand's really soft, that will dig. These are quite firm, quite nice to play out of because it's a soft top layer and the under layer is quite firm, so there's no chance that the club will dig. But impact is quite different. Let me show you exactly what that looks like. With the leading edge going in first, club tends to dig. You can see stops in the sand if I go deep enough. With the club face open, then it simply splashes through. Quite a different divot and also quite a different sound. You can hear that thump. That's a lovely sound. All good bunker players get that, and you can see exactly what I mean from the divot. Yeah, nice and shallow. The bounce is used. I caught that a bit heavy actually, but no problem. Still came out nicely, and short distance as well, even though the swing is quite long. I'll come to that in a minute. There we go, that's a lovely one. We've got the ball forward, we've got the club open. The next thing, the golden rule, is that we still have to swing on the line of our feet. My club face points somewhere over there, but my swing line must be on the line of my feet, because if I take the club on the line of the club face, the geometry of this is sometimes quite confusing, then I get myself around here and I catch the ground too early. So if you find yourself taking too much sand, or if you miss the sand, you'll find yourself thinning the shot and hitting the ball first. Again, a disaster with a high lip. You never get it out like that. Then a really good tip from the best bunker players I ever saw, Gary Player and John Garner, who was my mentor. I caddied for him in the 84 Open. Brilliant bunker players, both of them, and they both talked about the wristy pickup. You see how that gets the club up, so I can hit down into the sand, but it also stops it going around. So they both talked about taking the club up, and one other little thing that you can do for a short one is just cup the left wrist. You see how that makes the club face really, really open. And then you can use that lovely long swing to produce really quite a short shot. You mustn't slow down. The sand will slow the club down. So a 3/4 swing, I always think, I call this the L swing because you make an L with the lead arm and the club. I always think that's the bare minimum on a bunker shot. You really need some speed. The sand will really take the sting out of it. So if you try and be super soft, you risk that it won't come out. But if you play it with an open club face, you can use that speed to create height and spin. Ball should come out beautifully. So common errors with bunker play. I've often see people with the ball too far back. I very rarely see the ball too far forward. So if you put the ball too far back, you simply won't be able to hit the sand unless you move back, which is error number 2, because that puts the point of entry into the sand way too far behind the ball. How you position your head is super important. The head is over the point in the middle of the stance where we're going to hit the sand roughly, and that's where it needs to stay. If you move it backwards, obviously you'll hit the ground too early. Pretty disastrous with any short shot, that move. Less bad with driving, but that's another story. And of course you don't want to move forward either. Don't feel like you have to have your head over the ball. You certainly don't. The ball's forward. The head is therefore back. Stance width, yeah, about the same size, about the same width as a full wedge. And then we can start to get the right kind of contact. There we go, lovely. A short, high bunker shot where you don't swing short, you keep the speed up, open club face, forward ball position. Anybody can do this. It's not difficult, but if you get the standard address position wrong, or if your concepts are wrong, then you make life really difficult for yourself. Now I've come over to the other side of the green, so instead of being short-sided, I've got rather a long shot, maybe 25 yards, and then I can simply square the face. I've also changed the club to my 56, so this is a really great way to change the distance that your shot goes, is to vary either the club or how open you have the club. So this shot, 56 degree wristy pickup, swing on the line of my feet, ball forward still. All the rules are exactly the same, it's just the loft on the club has changed to create a different shot. There we go. Running out nicely. Caught the ground a little bit too far behind the ball on that one, so it didn't fly that far, but it rolled the extra distance and came out reasonably close. Same thing again, wristy pickup. Oh, that's a peach. There you go. Really nice shot, especially because the green slopes a little bit away from me. I know with that lower flight, it's going to release down to the. So to summarise, ball forward. Make the ball position your absolute priority to get right. Reasonably wide stance, certainly wider than a chip shot, about the same size as a full swing with a wedge, where you would normally hit the ground in the middle of your feet. Ball forward, that way you're almost guaranteed to hit the sand in front of the ball. That will get you out. Even if you don't open the club face, you could just play these with a square face and be absolutely fine. In the great scheme of things, this isn't a shot that you need to be amazing at. As a handicap golfer, if you get it on the green and two-putt it, you've done your job. So just that ball forward will do that for you, and then you can work on the other aspects to increase your control, to hit it to the right area and maybe start getting a few up and down. But ball forward and you're away. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you did, and also comments are really welcome if you found it helpful. Also, if you want other things covered, other topics about bunkers or anything from the golfing curriculum, then please let me know. But thanks for watching this time, and see you very shortly for another shot on the golfing curriculum.